Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Hold it for me. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Today I received an email from London. Swamiji, you are coming here and going to stay with us, so we are organizing a small group satsang. So what is the topic we should tell the people so that they know what they are going to listen? So I wrote them. You tell them the topic, life is a time pass. See, this is the foundation of life. When I was in Priya's house, I entered, switch on the light, everything appeared in the room. Switch off the light, everything disappeared. See, unless something is included in our mind or in our knowledge, that does not exist. For example, it's just an example. You have got a lottery ticket in your pocket, and that lottery ticket is declared to carry the lottery prize of $25 million. But you do not know that particular number is awarded that amount. Will it be your gain? No. Means what? Anything which is included in the mind, that alone exists. That which is not included in the mind does not exist. See? Sometimes it happens. Once it happened somewhere, I was giving my lecture as usual, and somebody put a garland. In India, they have got very big garlands every time, fresh, not the recycled one. Fresh garland. And they put the garland, and then it was there hanging in my neck, and I was talking. And one sweet girl like this, she came from the audience, walked the stage, and everybody was surprised why she is coming and going and talking to Swamiji when he is giving lecture. So the elders are there always to pull the legs, So, hey, come back, what are you doing? She did not care, like the children don't care for the elders. She came and she said, Swamiji, excuse me. I said, excuse. Then she came and slowly touched my beard. I said, don't pull, it is not a wig, it is a live one, okay? No, Swamiji. And slowly she took out, there was a big caterpillar. See, caterpillar was very much on my beard, wanting to go from the garland to the beard. Now I do not know why it is not included in my knowledge, in my mind. See friends, if this point is clear, now we go little deeper. When the mind manifests, then the life begins. When the mind does not manifest, the life does not begin. See, there are at times children born dead. They are called as stillborn children. Now what is the stillborn child? That child or that body in which the consciousness is not able to manifest as mind. And therefore, although the child was growing in the womb, yet it has not become an instrument through which the consciousness can express as mind, and therefore the child is dead. See? What is the difference between a stone and a mirror? When we stand before the stone, we do not see our reflection. But if the same stone is polished perfectly, and we stand before that stone polished, we see our reflection. So what is the difference between the stone and a mirror? Mirror is that where the possibility of reflection in the stone is invoked by polishing. Get the point? In the same way, in this whole universe, we see two things. One animate and second inanimate. Animate things are those where the consciousness is able to express as mind. And inanimate things are those where consciousness is not able to express as mind. See, consciousness is present everywhere. Consciousness is present in the living body and equally in a dead body. See, friends, the only difference between the two bodies is, in one body which is alive, their consciousness is expressing as the mind, therefore the body is enlivened. And in case of the dead body, the consciousness, although present, is not able to express as a mind, therefore that body is dead. It is something like two bulbs. Behind both the bulbs, it is the same electricity. In one bulb, the electricity is able to express as light, so we call it as a live bulb. In other bulb, electricity cannot express as light, we call it as a dead bulb or fuse bulb. And now I make a statement. Behind both the bulbs, live or dead, electricity is. I can't believe in this thing. How there can be electricity behind a fuse bulb? Don't believe me? Don't believe at all. Remove the fuse bulb, put your fingers and come to realize directly. See, friends, therefore, the whole life is only an expression of mind. See, friends, once this particular point we catch, thereafter all your thinking is meaningful. If this is not understood, we may do anything. It is just a struggle to see that which is not. See, friends, like we all have problems in our life. Everybody comes to us and Swamiji, we have got a problem. What is the problem? Problem, my wife doesn't listen to me. It is not a problem, it is a reality. It's not a problem. See? So, whenever we have problem, that time our mind is functional. And when we enfold our mind, see, like when we get up in the morning, we fold our blanket quilt properly and put it back. In the same manner, when we sleep, what we do? We enfold our mind, take it as a pillow, and we are sleeping. And when we are in deep sleep experience, that time, space and object, these three things which constitute the world, these three things are absent. See, where are we? No question. When are we? No question. What are we? No question. As a result, in deep sleep, we are not conditioned by these three parameters, time, space and object. As a result, we are absolutely free. See? And again, The consciousness expresses as mind means what? The mind which was enfolded, it again unfolds. See? And what will come on that unfolded mind? The same thing which was earlier recorded. See? If I am a doctor and go to sleep, so my doctory is enfolded and I go to sleep. In the deep sleep, I am neither the doctor nor the patient. See? And when again the mind is unfolded, all that knowledge of medicine is again available. So I again continue with the same thing. See, friends. Therefore, all the spiritual practice, whether you talk of karma or the yoga or the devotion or the knowledge or anything, all the spiritual practices working on the mind. See, if the mind is in a good mood, see, and something happens, the tray falls, crockery breaks, and daddy's mind is a good mood. So the daddy will say, never mind beta, did you get hurt? Take care, okay? We'll clean it. Don't worry, it happens. Then child is surprised. What is wrong with today, Hitler? He is so normal. What is something is wrong? See? And the other day, there is nothing, and suddenly this fellow flares up. See, friends, these are all the expressions of mind which we have never understood that we have to take care of the mind. See, friends. And what is the disease that mind is having and we are suffering? This disease is called technically as the disease of Mamata. I don't know how people name their wives and children with the names like Mamata, Asha, Apeksha. These are all the unhealthy conditions. Except the one if somebody is here. Asha? Asha? Okay. See? Do we name our children as cancer, constipation, dysentery, spondylosis? They are unhealthy conditions. So Mamata is the disease. And we are all the victims of this Mamata. This is what Bhagavad Gita talks in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We are all carrying this disease in 3 modes. One mode is a mode of stones and bricks. It is called as Tamo Guni Mamata. We keep on holding on to the matter in this world. See? Like Dhritarashtra was holding on to the throne. He doesn't want to leave that, That is why, in India, once there was some function somewhere, and they have called me and they said, Swamiji, we are having a, just a time pass, fun session. So we want you. What will you do if you become Prime Minister of India for one day? That was the topic. So all the people have become very seriously, we'll do this thing. So they wanted some change, you tell me. So I told, I will shift the capital of India from New Delhi to Jumritalaya. Do you know Jumritalaya? Jumritalaya is a place which is unknown like Madagascar and yet most popular. See? Because in all the cinema song request, maximum numbers are only from Jumritalaya. That's how it is popular. But why? I said because in New Delhi, below the throne of the Prime Minister is the ghost of Dhritarashtra. Once somebody goes and sits in that chair, that ghost takes possession and then he doesn't want to leave. See, friends. So holding on to the position, the places, etc., that is the tamo guni mamata. See. Second is the rajoguni mamata. Rajoguni mamata is, such people are workaholics. They are so much afraid of themselves that they keep themselves occupied to such an extent that they just don't want to face themselves. This is one of the most important principles to know. Expose yourself absolutely to the silence and then see. Our mind will make us mad. Then to get freedom from the attack of the mind, we keep ourselves busy with something or the other. That is the Rajoguni Mamata. And the third is the most dangerous one. And that is the Sattva Guni Mamata. Goody, 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 goody. These goody, goody characters are terrible. See? I get up early in the morning. I do meditation. I do yoga. I never eat non-vegetarian. I go to the temple, I study Gita. Then, are you obliging the world or what? I am not like others. See, we start comparing our goodness with others and try to establish holier than thou. These are the three mamatas which are creating a real chaos in our life. See, friends. And therefore, whenever we are miserable in this world, immediately find out which mamata ji has come. So sometime it will be the tamoguni mamata. One wife got up in the morning, husband was also there in the bed, and she said, honey, last night, and husband was half sleepy. Yes, what happened? See, last night, in the dream, you have given me a diamond necklace. You are so sweet, darling. Whenever the wife starts talking sweet, it is a danger sign. One of my friend, I don't know whether you do it here or not, but in India we do use the mobile phones maximum. For every person calling you, you can attach a different ringtone. Do you do it here? Yes. Okay. So, my friend, whenever his wife's phone comes, he has tuned it as a siren. The moment siren goes on water. See, immediate, conduct should be proper. So, when she said like this thing, okay, now don't disturb me. No, honey, get up, get ready, and tell me, when should we go to that shop to get, that diamond necklace? So husband said, tomorrow's dream. And when that ordinary thing which is not given to that lady, then Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveda Yutsavaha, the Mahabharata begins. See, friends. This is how, when we are attached to the things, and if we do not get those things, what we like or what we wanted, the samsara, the misery begins. And it is not that the children are miserable if you don't give them their electronic games. It is elders also equally miserable. The quality is the same. See? So, whenever we are disturbed, peep within. Why we are disturbed? Because of a particular thing I wanted and I did not get. So, what is the cause? Cause is this utter desire, longing for anything else. Then how do we come out of it? Only by a simple common sense. What is the common sense? Look at the things that we have collected in our house. See? In everybody's house, I go here, They have got so many, these discussion pieces everywhere, something or the other kept. So when they will be going to India here and there, they have to bring, this is very good, we don't get here in South Africa, you bring it and hang all around. After it is put over there, never it is touched. You go to the statue of Ganeshji, which was brought all the way from there, India, huge statue, put it. You don't require vibhuti from the temple. Take that Ganeshji, any part of Ganeshji, do like this thing and vibhuti is ready. Never touch that object. But that time if you are told, why do you carry unnecessarily, it is not required. You don't have the aesthetic sense. Such a beautiful thing. When people will come to our house, they will know that we got it from India. See, friends. This is how we keep on getting lost in the material world. One. Second thing is this activity orientation. See? I'll tell you about this. For example, I was once traveling from Calcutta to Bombay by train in the summer months. Very hot, miserable, and tremendous, number of people in the train, and some accident happened. So our train was stopped. And now nobody knows when that train will be removed, then our train will go, and who will know? It is just in the midst of the jungle. So we are staying there and terrible sun, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours gone. And I was reading some book nicely. So you go outside, it is hot, not a glass of water. Everybody tired and all that. So that one person who was going with his daughter for some marriage purchases, he asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I do nothing, therefore I am a Babaji." Those who are good for nothing, they become Babaji. I am like that. By this train, are you not getting late? I said, "I have to go nowhere. On the contrary, I am happy." "How you are happy?" I said, "Look here. We have paid the railway department money for 20 hours, but we will be sitting for 40 hours, free 20 hours. So when I said like this, he boiled out and he said, "You have nothing to do. I had to get my daughter married." And see? Now, is anybody responsible? I have to do something, and what I have planned, it is not happening. Immediately we boil it into anger. See, friends, we may decide, but the final touch is given by the divine will. Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter tells us that adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthak vidham vividha cha pruthak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam sharir vang manor bhi yat karma prarabhate naraha nyayam va viparitam va panchayate tasya hetava. Anything, whether good or bad you do, 5 factors are involved. Our body, then instruments, then efforts, and then the doer, and the last one is Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam, divine sanction. See, friends. But ahankara vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. We start thinking, I am doing. See, friends. Such people become extremely disgusted because their projects do not take up. Then the third kind of mamata is the goody mamata. What is the goody mamata? Goody mamata is we simply try to become good. And what is becoming good? Only what is it? You should go to temple early to bed and early to rise, and you should chant Lord's name. You should not eat non-vegetarian, all over. That is not goodiness. See, friends, being good means our attention is on our mind. See, before we do anything, during the action, and after the action is done. If the equipoise, our mind is maintained, then we are walking the spiritual path. See, friends, therefore, all these three factors, sattva, rajas, tamas, they influence our mind in the form of attachment to various things, activities and imaginations. Therefore, when our attention is on the mind, then we will start working on. Whenever we are disturbed, find out who is disturbed. Then we will come to know, I as a husband, I as a wife, I as a mother, I as a father, I as a daughter, I as a brother, I as a son, I as a businessman, I as a customer, I as a driver, I as a citizen is miserable. See, friends. So unless this basic error is corrected, mind cannot attain equanimity. And when the mind is equanimous, that experience is exactly like that of the sleep. See, in the sleep, somebody comes, we are sleeping nicely, snoring away, creating noise pollution in the house. There is a friend of mine in USA. They have got one basement, then the ground floor and the first floor. 3. He cannot sleep in his wife's bedroom. He cannot sleep in his daughter's or son's bedroom. He cannot sleep in the first room. He has to go and sleep in the basement because he snores so terrible. Now in that snoring, peaceful sleep, see friends, that time we are absolutely Mr. Nobody. So what is the conclusion? Wherever we are Mr. Nobody, we are happy. Bhagavad Gita talks about this principle in the 2nd chapter. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. What is our experience in the deep sleep? All the differences are dissolved. There is no sense of otherness. There is no sense of limited entity that we are. When this experience of the deep sleep is extended in the waking experience, then such a master is a living God in this world. See. Now how do we achieve this? It is for this purpose I started that life is the time pass. Life becomes beautiful. See, in the 2nd chapter, Bhagavan gives this principle. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. There are 3 stages. When we do something in this world, there are 2 options. Either we will win or we will not win. When we win, we get something. When we don't win, we lose something. When we gain what we want, we are happy. When we lose, we are miserable. So this is the stage by stage. So when we are involved in this world, so if whatever we want, we get it, ha ha! You must have seen the cricket and the football matches, a tennis match. Because I got the point. See? When I get something, ha ha, very happy. When I don't get something, loss, oh God, I'm so miserable. Thus our life is a constant buffeting, loss and gain, loss and gain. Then our journey is like what? Like some of the road patches when we came to your place from other place. You know, there are heavy trucks going on these roads, and therefore there are two channels formed. Isn't it? Two channels. These two channels I was explaining to Arvind. They are like the likes and the dislikes on our mind. See, when one channel is very deep, the other channel is not. Then after some time, the right side channel goes very deep, left is not. Constantly like that. We say, what is this kind of? This is roller coaster. Our life is like that. See, friends. On the contrary, if the road is absolutely flat, not even little bit of dent anywhere, on that the car is moving or stationary, you won't know. It is so steady. In the same manner, when we are functioning in this world, are we taking care of the equanimity of our mind, or we are creating two grooves or the channels of likes and dislikes? See, friends. And this is the reason why we suffer in life. Happiness can never be gained in this world. Happiness can be expressed in this world. See, friends. But all our life is for getting happiness. See? Why we want to get happiness? Because we are miserable. See, in Goa, once it happened, I was not well. So 2 lectures, morning and evening, I agreed. And I said, don't fix any other lecture, I want to sleep, I am not feeling well. But we tell and people never listen. I know that also. Swami, we are not fixed, but we have given a word to the principal, and the brigadier is in a military school. So the brigadier Sahib is coming and they have heard about you and we are already circulated. I said, don't cry, I will come. No introduction is required. At least keep only one class, 10th, 11th, so that I can talk to a homogeneous group of students. Okay, Swami. But they will do whatever they want. When I went there, their assembly ground, all the children from KG1 up to 12th standard. And now I have to address them. So what can I address? When I am looking at this KG1, when I look at the students who are in class 6, 7 like that, and when I am looking at the elder students 11, 12, they are not interested. Now I have to talk these 3 types of students. So I tell, my dear student, we are here to study. I look this way. All my inspiration goes. See, friends. Then I said, what will I talk to them? I said, hey, let us play a game. Play or game is common for everybody. Yes. I said, now you reply my question. How many of you want happiness? Raise your hand. 1 hand per head. Those who will raise 2 hands, they are wrong. So all the students raise 1 hand. Then I said, okay, hands down. Now who don't want happiness? 1 girl from 9th or 10th standard and 1 boy from 2nd or 3rd standard. There is this. I said, you come on the stage. They came, sat one this side, one this side. Now they were feeling as if they had done a crime. Because 2 were picked up and they were not the majority. They didn't know majority is always of fools. So they came. I said, okay, now we continue our game. You please reply. Who needs food? He who is hungry, is it not? Yes, Swamiji. Very good. Who needs water? He who is thirsty, isn't it? Yes, Swamiji. Who needs happiness? He who is miserable, is it not? Because majority were like that. And he who doesn't need happiness because he is already happy. Then I say, now these two kids, they are real my type. They don't want happiness, they distribute happiness. See, friends, never struggle to get happiness in this world. Nobody ever got it. All the saints and sages, they did not get anything from this world. They have distributed happiness. That is our inherent nature. See, once we recognize this principle of life, you don't have to do sadhana. See, like a child born out of the great musician family, when he cries in a Malakam Sarag. He doesn't have to struggle. Sare, moga, pogo. See, friends, when Zakir Hussain, the great tabla fellow, when he was born, he was almost the height of the tabla, but he could play very well. See, I was in Varanasi, Banaras, and in the Banaras in the university, I went for some function. And then they had organized after my dinner the musical program. In India we get plenty very good, wonderful musical program. So the father came and his younger son and the youngest son. So the father is acclaimed musician, is from South India. And the elder one son who was about 9 years or 10 years, he was helping the father in his singing, and there was one small boy, hardly 3.5 to 4 years. He was competing in Jugalbandi with his father. See, he doesn't have to struggle to learn music. Music was coming out of him in the same manner. Let us not struggle to gain happiness out of our actions. Let us not struggle to gain happiness out of our words. Let us not struggle to gain happiness out of our thoughts. See? Then let every action be an expression of joy. See? Then God in action. God did not create this world out of compulsion. तुमको पैदा करना पड़ेगा. See, आनंदादेव कल्पिमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनंदेन जातानि जीवन्ति. The Upanishad says this world is an expression, manifestation of bliss, not misery. Therefore, one can be happy eternally. One cannot be miserable eternally. Whatever may be a miserable event which has happened in your life in the past, you think of that miserable event now and when it happened and see the intensity of misery you experience. See, misery cannot stand time, it disappears. But happiness, even in the deep sleep we are happy. In the deep sleep we are not miserable. See, friends, therefore, to bring out this inherent happiness that we are, the technique is, let us keep the equanimity, samatvam yoga uchyate, equanimity of the mind intact. See? Now, what is the meaning of keeping the equanimity of the mind intact? I'll give another example. This happened somewhere. I had gone for food. And that Amma told me, Swamiji, there will be about 10-15 minutes. Please excuse me. I said, okay, doesn't matter. So I was sitting in the drawing room and reading some paper or something. So her son came. About 5, 6 years, 7 years like that. Swamiji, do you play carom? I said, I have never played. I'll teach you then. I said, then I'll play. So we sat, carom board in the center, he that side, and that small boy was such an expert. He will keep and start taking. And I was getting disgusted. I said, this fellow is going to defeat me. Then I am not going to be defeated. So I use the Swami technique. So what I did, when my turn came, I used to ask him, hey, whose picture is that? Is it Mohammed Rafi's picture? Swamiji, so he will look at there and talk to me. I will take 3-4 coins and put here. That is the only way I can win. I can't win otherwise. And once I did like this and he caught me. And he started crying. So, Mummy, Swamiji is cheating and he is doing this thing. They say, don't cry, man. We again play. Now see, you will win. See, pray to the Lord that you will win. And again I did the same technique, but the opposite. I took mine and put in his. What I was doing, till 15 minutes are over, till I get my food, it was just a time pass. In that time pass, whether I was winning or I was losing, it was equal, is it not? This is the principle of life. See, थोड़े गम है, थोड़ी खुशियां, ये जीवन है. This is the fundamental rule of life. This world is made up of pairs of, many people use for the dvandva, the pairs of opposite. I don't like that word. It is a pair of complement, not opposite. See, happiness and misery. If there is no misery, happiness has no meaning. See, if there is no divorce, marriage has no meaning. If there is no death, birth has no meaning. If there is no disease, health has no meaning. If there is no poverty, riches have no meaning. See, friends, this world is made up of all these pairs of complement. This is how the world is. So what can we do? Only one thing, accept cheerfully. See, friends, but we imagine there should be only health. When God has created the doctors, He has also to take care of their existence. So He has to create the diseases. See, when Bhagwan has given khujli, He has given the nails also. In this manner, everything in this world is necessary. And this is how the world is. The only way is understand and accept cheerfully. See, friends, but we are so much overpowered by our own prejudice, our own imagination. This should not happen that way, that should not happen that way. See, therefore, there are very simple thumb rules in life to keep this equipoise. Number 1, never get involved in any argument with anybody. Our peace of mind is more important than anything in this world. Because when we get involved in arguments, either we lose or we win. When we lose the argument, we lose the argument. But when we win the argument, we lose a friend. What is worth losing? Argument or a friend? See, friends. Therefore, this is one very simple way to keep the equipoise. Best way to disagree is to agree immediately. There is nothing worth in getting entangled in any kind of argument. Second thing is, one has to be accommodative in any given situation. Sometimes you get the things the way you want, sometimes you don't get. This is how life is. But we imagine every time the same thing I should get, it is not possible. Therefore, those who are able to accommodate, their life is like what? You must have seen the sea and the icebergs in the sea. And what is an iceberg? Iceberg is nothing but solidified water. And how distinct and arrogantly the iceberg stands. If you want to keep a piece or few pieces of ice in a glass, everybody will have their own individuality and space in between. They will be all uncomfortable in their glass. But when the same ice cubes melt into water, then they are comfortable in every kind of container. Let it be a glass, let it be a jar, let it be a petri dish, let it be a capillary tube. Everywhere the water is at home. Therefore, equanimity means we are at home first with ourselves and then with the whole world. See, friends, we have to be at home with ourselves. When we are at home with ourselves, our mind does not become our rider. We ride the mind. The mind doesn't ride on us. The mind rides on us under the influence of likes and dislikes. See, friends, now take a very simple example. I don't like bangan, eggplant. Now one place I went, and because I had to take food in different houses, so I had to say it is good, because somebody is giving you free food, how can you say it is bad? So they gave me food and something made out of eggplant was given. So I talked to the eggplant. Of all the places, you have to come to me only. Then like taking the Ayurvedic medicine, Ayurvedic medicines are most terrible. That is the technique of Ayurveda. If you have got some disease, they will give such a bitter and terrible medicine. Next time to avoid that medicine, you say you are all right. This is the technique. So, like that Ayurvedic medicine, I took the whole thing, put chapati on that, covering it, not even to want to look at it, and took it and a little glass of water finished off. Now that Amma thought, I like it very much. See? Now the question comes, why I don't like eggplant? There is no answer. See? Why I like something or why I don't like something? There is no reason behind it. See, friends, I'll give you an example. Once I went to somebody's house, a couple married for 2-3 years. The moment I entered their house, I looked around and then I took some newspaper or something. And the husband said, Swamiji, we know what you are observing. I said, very good, you are a very good observer. Then the wife also came. See, honey, Swamiji has seen our house. So I kept quiet. Then she said, Swamiji, we know what you have seen. Why our house is not painted? I said, you are very intelligent. Do you know why our house is not painted? I said, I don't know. And I will not paint. We are unable to agree on one issue. And the issue is that he likes light cream color and I like light pink. And we have decided, unless we agree, we will not do anything in life. So on this we don't agree. Therefore we are not able to do this. I said, I can help you in this thing. What is that? Why don't you paint this whole house as blood red? Do you like it? I asked him. He said, no, Swamiji. Do you like it? I asked the wife. No, Swamiji. I said, see, here you agree. Paint it. See, friends, once you understand this principle, that our likes and dislikes have no meaning. But our whole life is guided and under the influence of likes and dislikes, is it not? And we call ourselves to be very intelligent person of reason. What is the reason behind likes and dislikes? No reason. See, friends, all the spiritual practice is to rise above the likes and dislikes. See, friends, and therefore to live in this world, what is more important is equanimity of our mind. Likes and dislikes create turmoil. And this equanimity is nothing but till we are here, live happily, cheerfully under all conditions. See, miseries coming in our life is a common factor. Who is in this world who doesn't have miseries? Even the electric post. Do you know that? When these ladies early in the morning with the nightie on, go with a dog and a lead. Do you think the dog will do anything? Anywhere? No. He wants his post. And he will lead that lady. Instead of God leading, the dog leads her early morning, And then ultimately that dog will go to his own electric post and there and that post must be thinking, I don't know what sin I have done last time with this same pillow. See, friends, if everybody has the problem, then it is not a problem. See, friends. And in this manner, when we take our life in the light of this wisdom, mind remains cool, mind remains undisturbed. And when the mind remains cool and undisturbed, you are able to see that the whole world is a big cartoon show. See? Once there was one boy, I came from my lecture, and he was sitting in the coach and watching the TV. And that boy, very intelligent, now he is a grown-up boy, must be in college or... He used to call me by my name. I don't know where from he has learned that, a Gujarati boy, very bright, in India, but talking all American language, because constantly exposed to those cartoons. And he never used to write, and he used to argue with the teacher. You are interested in spellings, I can tell you, I can type it. Why should I write? Justify. That kind of intelligent child. So he used to call me by name. He used to say, Anubhavananda, don't you like cartoon shows? I said, yes, I like. Then why don't you come and sit? I said, no, I don't see the cartoons in the TV. Where do you see? I said, I got a mega screen. See, move in this world and see. What is happening? I am talking to myself. When I start talking to myself, I call myself to be sentimental. And when I talk to myself and others also hear, then we are called as mental. We are all moving in this world, in this manner, constantly talking to ourselves. Observe this. Mauna is this. Not keeping your mouth shut. Mauna is stop talking to yourself. Talk to others, but to yourself stop talking and see what happens. See, friends, once this principle we understand, then the happiness starts expressing through us. See, friends. Happiness is not created. That which is gained from outside, it will be lost. That which is created through action, it will be limited. But that which is inherent, like it is said, when the more the water you remove from the well, more fresh water comes. Tap water can go dry sometime. In the same manner, let our inherent joy surface. And for that, all the spiritual practices, let us retain the samatha, the equanimity under all conditions. Never justify any of the wrong expressions of mind. Example, anger. See, friends, we normally justify. Under this condition, anybody will become angry and I am that anybody. See, and we say that unless you become angry, the things are not happening. No. What is important for us? The quality of our mind is more important or the world is more important? And whatever we are doing for what? See, friends, therefore when we are participating in this world, we have to clearly see where is our attention. There are three places where our attention can be. One is in the world. So the parents think, they are doing so much good for the children, but the children don't respect them. They have forgotten all what we have done for the children. Such parents are bound to become miserable. On the contrary, if the parents understand this way, that to bring up the children itself is a joy. Don't postpone your happiness. That when you will become old and then that child will be married and then he will come and help you, then you have postponed your own happiness. See, so we do anything for anybody, not because the world wants, but it is our need. See, friends, so where is our attention? The world needs us? No, world doesn't need us. It is our need. So attention is brought away from the world to ourselves. Now when we come to ourselves, then two places. What is the quality of the mind? When we begin anything in life under an equipoise mode, everything is so simple. But anything we do in our life under the influence of the prejudice, likes, biasness, dislikes, then the expressions are different. So when we are starting anything, the first and the most important thing, when we are told, remember God before you begin anything, the idea is let our mind be cool before we take up anything in life. Never start with a wrong start. And the third thing, that our attention is on our own self. What is own self? Are we going away from our blissful self through action, through word, or through thought? Is the action an expression of joy, or it is an expression of compulsion? See? Is the word uttered as an expression of joy or as an expression of bitterness? Is any thought that comes out of our mind, is that thought creative, cheerful, or it is destructive and miserable? In this manner, when we become extremely aware of these positions, then our attention is on our own self. Then we come to know mind is just an instrument. That instrument has to be kept tuned. Then only we can function through the mind and no more become the victim of the mind. Like we function through the body when the body is under our control. When the body is not under our control, we cannot function through the body. We are living as the body. So let us understand this difference. Are we living as the body or we are living through the body? Are we living as the speech or we are living through the speech? Are we living as the mind or we are living through the mind? In this awareness, when we start living, see, life becomes extremely subjective, self-oriented. Such a person does not become happy. He is a source of happiness to all the people around him. Like a magnet attracts the iron pieces. He doesn't hold them by hand. In the same manner, when we are in the company of someone who is at peace with himself, in his company or her company, we experience a totally different quality of happiness. That quality of happiness cannot be compared with all the happinesses that we have experienced through our senses, etc. And this is possible for every one of us, because every one of us is an expression of the same divine principle. Let us allow the divine bliss to express through us. So only one simple spiritual practice. Whatever we do, happily. Whatever we talk, happily. Whatever we think, happily. Life becomes very simple. If you get up in the morning happily, see the difference. And you get up in the morning, oh God, again Monday has come, and I will be like... And then the mother has to come on, go, you have to go to school and all that, The mother pulls the child, takes to the bathroom. Now finish your bathroom. After 2 minutes, you're still standing there, take the toothbrush and paste, and she puts it in, take it, and he puts in the mouth. Again, samadhi. The height of laziness. See, friends, we all know when, in this marathon or match, what you call the running events, those people who are standing in that queue to run for a particular race, how they begin? When the whistle or the pistol sound goes, they don't run. They shoot like a bullet. If I had to stand along with them, I will first of all remove my khadao, do my lungi. By then everybody will be reaching there. We start our day in an inspired mood, cheerfully and happily, live through and through happily, and go to sleep happily. Those who have lived happily, they alone can die happily. See, friends, the life is very simple. We make it complicated because we have not understood that it is the mind which is playing the havoc. So the only way to take care of the mind is to keep it in equanimity. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.